Hi guys, Julia here from JM2 Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul, and it is another absolutely insanely good day. And I'm talking $10,000 good day. I've got 44 pieces here, some incredible designer brands, some incredible bolo brands, some really cool vintage. I cannot wait to show you some of these crazy things that I found. But first of all, welcome to the official holiday season. We are officially in Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa season. So I hope everybody has some great plans with the people that they love, either their family or their found family. So let's make the best of it. This is when sales are the highest, so get your items listed and let's make this a great season together. But before we get started here, guys, if this is the first time that we are meeting, if this is the first time you are stumbling on this channel, first and foremost, welcome. Welcome aboard. I am Julia, that is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you are into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we have a lot to get through, a lot to talk about, a lot of cool things to share, so we need to get into it. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So we do have one non-clothing item here, and this is something that's either like not sellable or an oh my god, did I just find this in the bins moment. So for those unfamiliar in the purse world, this is a very familiar silhouette. This is either an Hermes Kelly bag or a knockoff of an Hermes Kelly bag. I found it in the bin, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it is a knockoff. This in particular was like a special edition that they did. I think it was like with the Tokyo store. They didn't sell them. They only gave them to like VIPs that were at this event. It has a little twilly scarf. That's what these are called, twilly, like T-W-I-L-L-Y. There's no markings on it, but when I looked at the authentics online, I couldn't find any markings. Again, I'm gonna assume that it's not real. You know, I might drop $7 to see if it's authentic or not, just to like confirm it, because if it is and it's worth a couple $1,000s, I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. But if not, I think it's cute as heck. This translates in French to like travels in Wonderland, which I absolutely love. It's also like clear jelly. You can kind of see my hand back there. So I'm wondering if this is something that I could use as like a concert bag. I think it might be a little too smoked, like you can't really see what's inside, but either way, I think it's cute. On the resale market, if this is a knockoff, they go for about 45 or $50. Again, I don't think I'm gonna sell it because I just think it's really cute. And I also don't want to sell like a knockoff or a replica or anything like that. But I mean, what if it's real? Could you imagine if this is real? Could you imagine if I found a real Hermes in the bins? If you have ever found a real Hermes in the bins, please let me know. Scarf, anything. I want to know about it. Let me know. So kind of a fun find. So we got another two-bagger here today. So first up here was this adorable pair of pink linen pants. These are like wide leg trousers. They're from a brand, or they're from a designer called The Script. Now I was not familiar with The Script at all, but everything about this just kind of oozed quality. The construction of the waistband, the way that the tag was made, the way that the tag was tacked. It just feels really luxury. And when I got home, I don't think that The Script is still in business, but it looks like these retailed somewhere around $500. So I'm not quite sure what I'll get for these. I did find a couple pieces by The Script on the secondhand market, but for the most part, they are like ankle length wide leg pants. I haven't found this particular pair, and sold comps are anywhere between like 30 and 100. So I'm not quite sure. I'm going to assume probably about 30 and hope for more, but kind of a cool find. Like, let me know if you are familiar with this brand, if you've ever bought it, if you've ever sold it. Let me know what you know about The Script, because there wasn't much about it online. Again, I'm assuming that it is no longer around, which is why I can't really find anything about it, but let me know what you know. Next up here, this is a little Rebecca Taylor piece. Love Rebecca Taylor. She makes really high-end, kind of contemporary, everyday wear. This is 100% silk, dusty purple little camisole with ruffles at the bust. It's a size 3, which I believe is a size large. I don't think I've ever found a Rebecca Taylor piece that wasn't a size small or extra small, so this is exciting. This probably retailed somewhere $200 to $300. She's very expensive, so I'll probably see somewhere between like 30 and 45 for this, maybe a little bit more. Very, very cute. Great condition too. Next up, we've got one of the vintage pieces. Guys, the vintage was so good this day. I was loving it. So this, okay, I'm actually gonna crowdsource a little information from you. So this is a vintage lace dressing gown robe situation. So it's got two little ties there at the front, kind of a mandarin collar, long wide sleeves trimmed in more lace. It's floor length and open front. So it's just those two ties here. And this had a second piece to it, right? So here's the robe, here's the second piece. I know it's of the same piece because the lace is exactly the same and the ribbon is exactly the same. So it's just this. I'm wondering if this is like a detachable collar. That's really the only thing I could think of that it might be. It's a little too short. It's not like an apron. I don't know if this would tie around necessarily somebody's waist. Let me know if you know what this is. I obviously got both pieces because they do go together in some way, shape, or form, but I have no idea what this is. I'm like, a little kid's cape? Maybe it's something for like a little girl. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you have an idea. But something like this, vintage sleepwear in really good condition, sells very, very well for me. This will probably be either like a Depop or an Etsy sale, and I'll probably see like 50 or 60 bucks for this. I mean, this lace is in perfect condition, not a snag, not a hole, at least not that I've seen in my inspections, but like it is like impeccable condition. I'm gonna say that this is probably 50s, 1950s, just going on the style of lace and like the style of the gown, but very, very cool. And like, how often do you find two pieces of something this old in good shape right next to each other in the bins? Like, never happens. And I will tell you, that is not the only two-piece vintage find that I had that I found both pieces of. It was a very lucky day at the bins. Next up here, I don't think that this is vintage, but it's a Western style shirt. Now, I always pick up Western style shirts. They do have a really, like, it's a niche market, but it's a very like dedicated market. Now, obviously, if this was like a vintage Wrangler or something like this, 100%, you need to be picking those things up and you would be comfortable paying up for those $10, no problem. You'll get $40, $50, $60, $70 depending on the style and age. This is from 1901. I'm pretty sure it's more modern, but because it's red, white, and blue, because it's got a lot of embellishment on like the, you know, obviously you got the pearl snaps, but you got all of this embroidery down the front, it's flashy colors. These kind of showier Western wear pieces do sell really, really well for me. Now, I don't know, again, it's modern. I don't think I'm gonna be getting like $60 or $70 like I can for some of the other pieces, but you know, probably 30 bucks on this. I feel like I never get my hands on these. This is the kind of thing that like the Rose Bowl flea market sellers always pick up. You never get your hands on pearl snaps in the bins around here. Next up here, this is a little lightweight gauze top from Current Elliot. Current Elliot is one of those really expensive kind of casual wear brands. They're more commonly known for like their jeans. I think I've only found like one other shirt from Current Elliot, and it's a t-shirt that I kept for myself. But this is the label you're looking for. And it's just a little lightweight gauze popover, kind of split neck, mandarin collar, long sleeve, very basic. It doesn't have a size on it. It doesn't have an interior tag. I don't know if the interior tag has been removed or what the case is, but this looks to be about a size large. Again, in great condition. Cotton gauze shirts just always sell well. They're great basics. They're super comfy. They're great for like warm weather. And they look good rumpled or crisp. This probably retailed about $150, maybe a little bit more. This was an interesting one. Okay, so I felt this fabric and it felt really, really nice. Now, if you can't tell what this pattern is, it's printed to look like a sweater, and those look like jeweled hearts. So the reason I picked this up, first of all, it's weird. It's weird and it's beautifully made. Like the way that these sleeves are constructed, like there's no shoulder seam here. Like this is literally a built shoulder that's cut like directionally out of fabric. Beautifully made. And the brand on this is Marco Bolognia. Now, Bolognia, you've got my attention. This is Italian. The label is beautifully made. The label is tacked. It's European sizes. So I'm like, I'm just gonna take a chance on it because it's weird and well made, right? Like this is my rule to myself. If I find something exceptionally made and it's kind of weird, I'm gonna pick it up. So I get it home and it does look like they are an Italian-based designer, kind of niche, maybe I would imagine more popular over in Italy. So I wasn't able to find this exact jacket, but I looked at other like similar like lightweight jackets from them, and they retail in like the $700 range. So that's some serious coin. I have zero clue what I will get for this on the resale market. But it is, again, it's weird, it's well made, it's niche. It's something that like you're not gonna be able to find. Like if they are no longer designing, you know, like there's obviously nothing else like this on the resale market. So maybe 50 bucks, maybe 100 bucks, maybe 200 bucks. I have no idea. Somewhere in that range, but isn't that cool? Like I wish you could feel this. Like this fabric is so interesting. It feels like satin, but it has body like a neoprene, if you can imagine. And it feels like just really soft and luxe. So what a cool find. Like, let me know. Do you know Marco Bologna? Have you ever found anything from them? Have you ever sold anything from them? Let me know if you've had any experience. So this is how my day went. Like, it was a good day. Next up, we'll get the bulky thing out of here. This is a piece from Pole. This is something that we've talked about just recently. Pole is a boutique brand, but I think that they're on the higher end of boutique brands, and they definitely have a following. So this is a Sherpa two-tone half zip jacket. I think that this will go in no time just based on the style. It's cut really wide. So it's gonna have that nice drape on the side, and then it's got big wide sleeves with kind of like snap cuffs, little half zip, and then it's got this cute corduroy pocket here. It's a size large. This will probably go about $40 to $45. It's about what I see similar pieces going for from Pole, and I have, again, no doubt that this will sell pretty quickly. Like the size is right, the style is right, and the time is right. How often does that happen? Next up here, now this is something interesting that I found. So this is just a sweatshirt, but if you recognize the pattern on the sleeves, this is the art of Keith Haring, who I absolutely adore. Keith Haring was an activist artist back in the 80s. He unfortunately passed of AIDS, far too young. He was the founder of the Pop Shop. He was a graffiti artist before he was like a fine artist. And pretty much anything with Keith Haring art on it is going to sell just by the nature of it having Keith Haring's art. It doesn't matter if it is from Uniqlo, it doesn't matter if it is from, you know, like his estate's line, whatever the case may be. Keith Haring will sell a piece of clothing no matter what. And it has this kind of interesting like tie-dye look to it. There's no tag on this at all, like none whatsoever. I'm assuming there was a tag. Of course there was a tag at some point. But I did a Google image search when I got it home. And again, I will pick up pretty much anything with Keith Haring's art. Not only do I love his art and I love him and his whole message as a human being, but there's a lot of people like me out there. So I did a Google image search when I got this home, and it looks like this was from Junk Food, like the brand Junk Food, which is kind of like a pretty high-end t-shirt brand. They do a lot of like IP t-shirts, so like Disney t-shirts and, you know, Keith Haring t-shirts and band t-shirts. And they retail pretty high. So like, to give you an idea of their pricing, their t-shirts retail for like $50 to $55. They're a brand that people know, people look for, but this has been modified. So the tie-dyeing on this has been bleach dyed. This has been bleach dyed by whoever owned it before. So I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. Maybe 20 bucks, maybe 30 bucks. Either way, you know, I paid $1 for it, so I'm not mad about it. And again, it's Keith Haring, so it will sell. It's otherwise in perfect condition. And honestly, I kind of like the look to it. It feels very fitting for the art. So let me know, do you guys do junk food? Do you see it a lot where you are? I don't see it all that often, and when I do see it, pretty much anything that I find I pick up because people do seek out that label. Next up here, now this is something I don't find almost ever here, and I know that I have some subscribers up in the New England area, and you'd probably find a lot of this stuff, but I believe this is vintage LL Bean, and it's just a little field jacket. I love the color. It's got contrasting corduroy collar and cuffs. It's in great condition. It's lined in flannel. LL Bean stuff is like made to last. LL Bean famously had this return policy that was so intense, and I think that they finally had to end it. Let me know if anybody is like hip to what's going on with LL Bean, but like their return policy, like their replacement policy was so good. Like when I was going to school, like when I was in elementary school in the 80s, I had a lot of my friends had the LL Bean backpacks that had like a diagonal reflective strip on it. If you know, you know. Let me know if you know. But like their policy was so, like they stood behind their products so strongly that like 20 years after you bought one of those, you could have brought it in for repair or replacement. And I think wind of that got around, you know, like when the internet really became a thing and people were like bringing in these 20-year-old backpacks to get brand new backpacks. And I think they had to end it maybe like 15, 20 years ago. But like that's LL Bean in a nutshell. Like they make stuff to last. And this is in fantastic shape. So this is also a size 2X, which is a great find. So I'm not quite sure what this will go for. I think I'll probably be able to get like 40 or 50 bucks for it. I think mainly because the color and the size, and obviously the fact that it's LL Bean and something that somebody can wear for 2 years and probably sell it for 40 or 50 bucks in 2 years, and again and again and again. Love finding LL Bean, and I just do not find it out here ever. And I just love those colors. I think these colors are choice for right now. Next up here, this is one of the few Free People pieces I found. I'm very familiar with this shirt because I've had, I think, 2 or 3 of them. This is what's called the Hendrix shirt from Free People. In fact, like, I picked this up and I didn't even see the tag. It looks like the little strip was, like, you know, the little long strip was taken out, but I could barely see the little plate there. So this is called the Hendrix shirt. It's all like chiffon. It's like a crinkle chiffon. It's got a mixed pattern. So it's like floral on the sleeves and a bigger floral on the body. And then you could cinch these in. It's got like a split tie neck. So you can cinch this in to be like really close to the neck, or you can leave it wide open. This will probably go 25 to 32. This is one of those shirts that like people know and kind of seek out. And it's great right now. It gives all the feels of the fall and winter without being super heavy. Next up, one of the most gorgeous vintage coats I've ever seen. This is very much 70s. Smells like the 70s. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a carpet coat. I don't know what this is, but it is just too flipping fabulous. This is about a size medium, maybe a large. And let me get you up close on that textile. This just reminds me of rugs. This reminds me of like rugs in rec rooms, if you know what I know that the rugs in rec rooms that I'm thinking about are like braided rugs, but this just gives me that feel. So this is a duster length. It's pretty long. It's got shoulder pads to the gods. It's got all the buttons, and the buttons are gorgeous. I have no idea how I'm gonna price this, but it was just too cool to leave behind. I'm gonna guess something like this, probably somewhere like between $50 and $100. And I think that this will go in no time. This is just too funky, too cool, and in too great a condition to not sell really quickly. And it is always exciting when you find a vintage piece like this and all the buttons are present and accounted for, especially when you're dealing with like really highly specialized buttons. Like, I don't think I'd be able to find a replacement for these anywhere, even in the garment district. So, oh, it's so cool. I love it so much. Next up, now this is something that I was like a gut pickup. I don't even know how to explain it. So this is a men's corduroy shirt. The corduroy on this feels so nice. It's fine whale. It's this beautiful like hunter green color. And there was a lot of things about this that made me pick it up. So it's made by Essential Supply Company. It's made in the US. It's in beautiful condition, and it looks like this brand is no longer, unfortunately, which is a shame because this is really like beautiful quality stuff. It looks like they were really like highly sustainable brand. They had an eye towards like slow fashion, small batch type stuff. There's a little logo here just below the pocket. Let me know if you're familiar with this brand. I couldn't find much of this on the resale market, but again, it just had a lot going for it. You know, that made in America, the really high quality corduroy, the fact that right now is the right time for corduroy. Let me know. Let me know if you're familiar with this. I'm gonna guess 25 to 32 on this, but who knows? I mean, it might be something that's really highly sought after. Let me know if you are familiar with it. Let me know if you have any experience with it. But if not, I'll try to report back on when this does sell. All right, next up here, we've got a floral shirt from John Varvatos. I'm telling you guys, this is like the bread and butter of today. Like, I can't even, what a ridiculous day. So that's John Varvatos. This is a label you want to keep your eyes out for. John Varvatos is a high-end men's designer. Despite the fact that this feels kind of prim and proper, his whole thing is very rock and roll. It's leather, it's distressed. Think like what Johnny Depp wears. I think Johnny Depp wears a lot of John Varvatos stuff. In fact, the iconic punk club in New York, CBGB, when it closed down, which is a loss the music community will never get over, but when they closed, John Varvatos moved into the space and kept the front awning in the same kind of shape. Like, it was a very iconic looking awning. I'll see if I can put a picture of CBGB up here. And John Varvatos really paid homage to like what the space was. So anyway, definitely very high end, very expensive. It's probably retailed about $150. I'll probably see somewhere like 30 to 50 on this. It's size medium. It is one of the slimmer fit shirts. And of course it's in this like ditzy floral print, which kind of is rock and roll, if you think about it. I could 100% see like a Brit rocker wearing something like this. But a great find, and definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. Next up, moving right along with these incredible finds, this little Rose Nyland Fantasy robe. It's just pink satin, kind of jacquard satin with like light blue piping and yellow trim. The tag is a little bit crinkled up, but unmistakably, that's Christian Dior. Can you not see Rose Nyland swanning into the kitchen in the Golden Girls house in this robe? Floor length, it's got pockets, it's missing the tie, but again, I don't really think that matters. I think this will sell. I mean, it's not in the greatest condition, but I think just based on what it is, if I keyword it right, like 100%, I will use like Golden Girls, Rose Nyland, Blanche Devereaux, I will use all those keywords, and I think this will sell as a costume for one of those. It's not, you know, this isn't Christian Dior 100% silk type stuff. This is probably polyester. It's probably one of those kind of licensed type deals, but people I think will pick this up, like I said, for a costume. I'll probably get somewhere 30 to 40 bucks on this just because it's Christian Dior. But there are Golden Girls cruises out there, and I'm so tempted to take one because I'm like the world's biggest Golden Girls fan and wear this before I sell it. So very cool. Again, this is the kind of day that it was. Obviously straight out of the 80s right here. Now, this is a brand I've never found before, and it's definitely a bolo, and I was so excited to find it, and this is CP Shades. So CP Shades is very much in the same line as like a poetry. It's elevated fabrics, very neutral, classic silhouettes. This is like a long sleeve top here. And when I Googled this, I was trying to find like what this was. I'm pretty sure that this was a dress at some point. It's got a raw hem, which is not necessarily confusing because like the sleeves also have a raw hem, but I'm thinking somebody bought this, maybe cut off some cuffs and cut off the bottom of this, because I believe that the bottom hem was originally like this. I don't necessarily think that that's gonna stop this from selling. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to sell this at like full price. If I found the dress, this probably would have gone like 40, 50, maybe 60 bucks. One of those expensive brands, but I still think I'll maybe get like 20 to 30 bucks on this. Always exciting to find a brand that I've never found before, that I've been like kind of keeping my eyes out for, but like the fabric is gorgeous. Let me know if CP Shades is a brand that you do a lot of. Like, let me know if you find a lot of it and where you are. I'm really interested to hear like where this kind of stuff spikes in the country. Next up, another vintage piece. I think that this was like actually a uniform. This is fabulous. Again, missing the belt, but I don't think that that matters. I could totally see somebody just putting like one of their own red belts on here. Very like late 1960s, early 1970s, that like butterfly collar. It's definitely polyester. And the tag on here says just for Joseph Magnin, which was like it was a department store out here in the Los Angeles area. So that's kind of why I'm thinking, I think that this was like a uniform for the department store, but it's, you know, just about knee length. It's navy blue, crisp red. It's in fabulous condition otherwise. It's definitely polyester. This is definitely something that was like made to take a lot of wear. Like I said, there are a lot of clues here that tell me that this was a uniform, but so cute, right? And look at those buttons. I'll probably see like 30 to 40 on that. Yeah, okay, so this is a dress that I found. Definitely not a brand that I was familiar with, but the dress felt so nice. The brand here is Evernew from Australia. We know Australian brands tend to be pretty high quality. Like the construction of this is so nice. It's a full wrap dress, midi length, in this beautiful floral. It's got, you know, ruffle trim, sheer short sleeves. It's a US size 12, so that's great. I think that they sell this at Nordstrom. When I looked it up, that's where I found it, and they retail, I want to say, about $200. I think I'll probably see like 40 or so on the resale market. It is very cute and in perfect condition. Let me know if you're familiar with Evernew. This is the first time I've ever seen it. I literally, like, I grabbed this because it felt so well made. It's fully lined, but it's fully lined in the same fabric that's on the outside. So it's just, it feels really luxe. It feels beautifully finished, and it's a full wrap dress. It's roughly dressed, and it's a decent size. Like, there's a lot about this that will sell it even if the brand is like no name. But I don't think that this is a no-name brand. I think that Evernew is quite nice. If I have to guess, that was bought as like a wedding guest dress and never worn again. Next up here, a pair of Viori shorts. Now these are, I think, are extra small, but But these are their women's run shorts. Perfect condition. This is the logo you're looking for. Definitely a bolo for right now. These are the drawstrings. You can usually tell by the drawstrings. It's like blue and white stripe. Because Viori, like Lululemon, has like removable tags on the inside. You're not necessarily gonna see an inside tag that says Viori, so keep your eyes out. There's always gonna be some kind of external branding, and usually, especially if they're pants, they're gonna have these kind of signature drawstring. Something like this I'll probably get like 20, 25 bucks for, but if you find the joggers, if you find one of the sweatshirts, especially if you find some of the men's stuff, they go, number one, it's gonna sell in like 2 days. Number two, it's gonna sell for a great price. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. Next up, another vintage piece. Wait until you see this. So first of all, get a load of this fabric. Obviously screaming 1970s, guys, it's a cape. This is a cape. Like, do you believe it? It's so gorgeous. So it's a cape, it's got the little front kind of where you put your hands through. The brand on this, and I couldn't find much about it, but like Arola, A-R-O-L-A, made in Finland, 100% wool. This is in fantastic condition. I'm guessing 70s. Let's see, does it fit me? Can you handle that? Isn't that fabulous? I have no idea what I'm gonna get for this. This is the kind of thing that's like a moral imperative that I take home from the bins. Like, I cannot, under good conscience, leave this behind because this deserves another life. Obviously something I will photograph on the mannequin. It is in beautiful condition. I mean, it's so unique, so beautiful, so well made. I'll maybe see like somewhere between $50 and $100 for this. Again, it's all wool, it's fully lined, it's a cape, it's unique. It's made in the Scandinavian countries, which are not known for poor quality garments. Buttons all the way down. You can't ask for a day like this. Next up here, now this is a brand I almost never find in the thrift or in the bins, which is crazy because it's very popular here. And this is Alo Yoga. So I've been really winding back on picking up any kind of athletic wear. I think it's really saturated. You know, like even Lululemon, like super saturated. People are not wearing athleisure as much as they were. Like during the pandemic days, you know, leggings are working their way out. People are looking more for flare leggings, etc. But Alo's kind of an exception to that. It's still really sought after. So it's just this brown ribbed kind of split neck cropped t-shirt. This looks to be about a size medium, going by like the pit to pit length. It's in perfect condition. I'll probably see like 30 to 35 on this. Alo is like super expensive. Speaking of junk food, this is another little junk food piece that I found. This is a Patriot Sweatshirt, of course. We are in football season, so I think that this will go pretty quickly. Junk food stuff is like really nice quality. This is French terry, but like look at the back of this. I know a million girls. I used to live in Boston, and I know a million girls who would wear this to a game. Probably under a very thick jacket because it gets real cold in Boston, but 100% this will sell. It's a size small. I'll probably see like 30 to 35 on this. Again, junk food is very expensive. This probably retailed close to $100, if not over. And it's unique, right? Like it's girly, but not bling. You know what I'm saying? Next up, one of the very few basics that I picked up. This is just a black kind of mock neck t-shirt. This is men's from Talentless. And Talentless is Scott Disick's brand. One of the Kardashian girls' boyfriends or baby's daddies or whatever he is. He's in that world. And far be it from me to be like a fan of anything Kardashian, but I gotta, like the quality on this, this is the second or third piece that I've picked up. Like the quality is off the chains, like really, really nice textiles. Everything's finished really nicely. Like this is a true elevated basic. I also really like, you know, like what guys are looking for right now is a heavier weight t-shirt, slightly longer arms, and these mock neck. Let me see if you can get up close. You can see how thick that neckband is, these kind of higher necklines. This is what guys are looking for right now. So you're gonna wanna use all of those kind of keywords. Heavyweight jersey, longer sleeves, mock neck, whatever the case may be. I'll probably see, I wanna say that these retail for like 50 bucks, which is expensive for a t-shirt, but again, the quality's there. I'll probably be able to get somewhere $20 to $30 on this. About what I've gotten on the other pieces that I found. It's really nice. Credit where credit is due. Next up here, a perfect example of like a top I'll pick up from Abercrombie & Fitch. This is kind of like a granny cardigan, right? So it's got a little collar, long sleeve. It's got the 2 front patch pockets, nice cream color, button front, size small. This will sell for like $20, but I have no doubt that this will sell very, very quickly. I do see a lot of Abercrombie and Fitch. I really only pick up like dresses. The dresses will sell really quickly, especially like the more modern dresses, because they do sell out a lot and people are looking for them. But stuff like this, I see a lot of like t-shirts. I see a lot of like little sweaters. I don't pick many of them up, but something like this I will. I'll also pick up a lot of their newer style jeans. I'll probably see like 20, 25 bucks on this. It's size small, and I have no doubt that this will sell really quickly. Again, I'm gonna lean on granny core, grandma sweater, all those different keywords to get this to the right eyeballs. Next up here, a little Tommy Bahama piece. I haven't picked up Tommy Bahama women's in a while. This is a beautiful linen dress. I love this neckline. I think it is so flattering on like most women. It kind of gives that like cut in shoulder that makes everybody's shoulders look a little bit more toned than they are. I'm in need of that help, so I love it. I love the colors. It's short length. It's beautiful condition. This feels brand new. Size medium, fully lined. Tommy Bahama is obviously an incredibly expensive brand. This probably retailed like close to $200. I'll probably see, oh, it's a little split in the front too, a little peekaboo at the bust. I'll probably see like somewhere between 30 and 40 on this. This might not sell until summer, but I will use resort wear, vacation, all those kind of keywords to kind of get it into the eyes of somebody who's like going to the tropics over the winter. But like I said, this might not sell until next year, and I'm not mad at it. It's beautiful quality, and again, in perfect condition. I don't pick up every Tommy Bahama that I find. I pick up like the vintage men's shirts, but the women's like dresses sell very, very well for me, and for good reason. They're beautifully made and just so dang expensive retail. All right, next up. Now this is a brand I didn't know, and I might give this to my mother-in-law, but this is a baby blue. This is another Scandinavian brand. The brand is Niels Sunstrom out of Stockholm. And I mean, again, I don't think there's much like fast fashion coming out of the Scandinavian countries, but it's 100% cotton. It's this beautiful texture and this nice like dusty blue. Again, I might give this to my mother-in-law. I'm gonna always take a chance on Scandinavian brands. They tend to be like niche, but the people who love them love them. I couldn't really find much about this brand online, but all the hallmarks of quality are there. So if she does not want it, maybe somewhere between like 20 and 40 on this. Let me know if you're familiar with this brand. Very, very interested to hear if anybody else has had experience with it. Next up, now this piece is from Banana Republic. I do not pick up a ton of Banana Republic, but there was a lot about this dress that I really liked. First of all, it's a size 2XL. It's long sleeve, it's black, it's got a nice little ruffle detail there at the sleeves. It buttons down, it's midi length, and it's got a tie belt, which is included. I don't think you're seeing any of this detail here. But again, I don't grab a lot of Banana Republic, but these kind of dresses I will grab, especially in the 2XL. I'll probably see like 30 to 35 on this. I do think that this is Banana Republic outlet because it's got the 3 little dots. It's in perfect condition, cute little black dress. So let me know. I know a lot of you out there say you pick up a lot of mall brands for like career pieces, but do you pick up these kind of dresses from like Ann Taylor or Banana Republic or like Club Monaco? Let me know. This is something that I think could be like dressed up for like a more special occasion, but also like dressed down enough to go to the office. For me, it was more the size, like finding a 2XL in something like this. I think that a lot of the larger sizes will get picked up at a Goodwill store before they make it to the bins. I think that's why I find such a high concentration of smalls and extra smalls. But yeah, this is in perfect condition. Perfect little black dress. Next up, another little bread and butter piece. This is from Madewell, and I do see a lot of Madewell. I don't pick up a ton of Madewell, and this is an extra small, but I grabbed it because it's this beautiful velvet. It's in this kind of like mushroomy taupe color. It's a full wrap shirt. It's got stretch to it, but it being the holidays officially now, this is the kind of thing that'll go. Somebody will wear this over like a black slip skirt or something like that. In case you ever want to check, because I tend to try to only pick up things that have like a special style or something more modern. If you look on a Madewell piece and you look at the contents tag, behind the contents tag, there's a little itty bitty tag. Face out of there. So you can see there it says HO18, which means that it was a holiday 18 release. And the little number just above it, it's like style number whatever, that's the actual style number. So if you type into Google Madewell style K4384, it'll bring up that page. So you can usually get like the exact name of the garment. You can get the price that they charged for it. Really helpful for when you are listing these things, but this is in perfect condition. And I love that color. I wish I could wear it, but I love that color. Next up, this is vintage and handmade. So another velvet piece. I think that this is girls. I think this is kind of like big girls, but look at the color of this velvet. Would you die? I mean, this is my blue, right? Like I want a dress in this color, but this is beautiful ruffle sleeve velvet, scoop neck, probably about T length for girls here. Perfect condition. Again, this is handmade for sure. You can just tell by the way that the inside was finished. I'm gonna guess this is probably 80s, but this blue is just lovely. I'm gonna guess this is probably like a girl's size 10. Either that or it's a size extra small women's. Like I think this could go either way. It would be like a mini dress, but the way that it has like the darting here on the bust tells me that this might actually be a women's size. So I'm gonna have to get some measurements on it and do a little bit more research, but I'm not leaving that behind. Not during the holidays, not for the life of me. Perfect condition too. Putting this out into the thrifting god's ears, like send Julia a Julia size dress in this velvet, please and thank you. Next up, I did grab a pair of shorts. Call me crazy, but these are from Reese and they're brand new with tags. So we're not gonna be leaving this behind. Reese is one of those super high-end brands. These retailed, I wanna say, when I looked them up, I wanna say that these retailed like $200. Just little white paper bag waist, and these are elasticated, so they'll be nice and comfy. High-waisted, cuffed white shorts. Obviously brand new with tags condition. Again, maybe not something that'll sell until next summer, but I will use all those resort wear, vacation, all those keywords. I'll probably see somewhere between like 30 and 50 on these. So I did pick up a pair of leggings, and there was just a lot about these leggings that told me that they were probably a pretty niche but sought after legging. The brand on it is Virus, but these are of course targeted compression leggings. I think that this is a woman's fit, but when I got it home, I didn't even realize this in the bins. It looks like somebody leaned against like a freshly painted corner. That's paint. And paint is like really hard to get off, so I'll give it like one stab. These retail about $100. It looks like they resell probably about 35 bucks. I'll see if a little like rubbing alcohol gets this out. If not, it's just back into the donation bin. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. That is a freshly painted corner of a wall or like a counter. Oh, what a shame, because they are in perfect condition. And you can tell that the quality is there, like the compression is there, the fabrics are really nice. Are you familiar with this brand? Have you ever picked this before? I'd never seen it before, but again, it just had all the hallmarks of something that was like highly specialized and well made. So let me know. I'm interested to hear. Oh, next up, we've got one of those Free People One dresses. This is that like very frequently duped mini dress. I think it's called the Adela dress. It's an olive green. This is one of those things that has been around from Free People like forever. They have been making these for probably close to 10 years. They are still highly sought after. I wouldn't be surprised if they were one of their best sellers on the website. This retails for like 88 bucks, so it's not crazy expensive by like Free People standards. But on the resale market, depending on the color, depending on the size, and I think this is a size medium. Yeah, size medium. I don't think I've ever found this dress not in a size like extra small. These still go for like $30 to $40 on the resale market. Again, great condition in this pretty olive green. This will sell in no time. It might not go until spring, summer just because of like the style of the top. It is spaghetti straps, but like these dresses just keep selling. They just keep selling. There's a reason Free People keeps making them. Next up, a little Vince piece, 100% silk t-shirt. Look at this. Of course, I felt it in the bins. This is beautiful cream silk, just as light and as smooth as could be. It's made by Vince. It's a size medium, definitely a Bolo brand. If you are unfamiliar with Vince, which I don't think anybody's unfamiliar with Vince at this point, but super fine knit upper here. Okay, so it's a silk body and then the knit is cashmere modal. This feels high end. Like, let me get you up close on that texture. Just gorgeous. Vince is a very expensive brand. This probably retailed close to $300. I'll probably see like $40. It is a size medium. I rarely find Vince in a size medium, let alone a large. I will always pick up a silk piece from Vince every time. Speaking of my favorite fabrics, this is a linen boxy top, very Logan look in that pretty like mushroom taupe color. The brand on this is Brave and True, which I've never found before. This looks to be free size. There's no like size tag on it. It looks to be a brand that's sold at like Nordstrom and pretty pricey. Like their dresses run in the $200 range. This probably sold about $100. It's perfect condition. It's one size, so it's that like nice like log and look drapey feel. I'll probably see like 35 to 40 bucks on this. This kind of stuff sells well and for a great price for me. Next up, another vintage piece, and this is the other 2-piece set that I found. So I actually found these in not only different bins, but in different like rows. So it was super lucky that I found it because somehow in the back these got separated. And it's just like because it's vintage and because, well, you'll see the color in 2 seconds, somebody easily could have snapped this up. And I would have snapped up either of these pieces if I saw them separately. So I found this first, which is this gorgeous pencil skirt. Like, look at that. It is just this beautiful like 1950s, 1960s style knee-length skirt. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And if I don't know if you're seeing that, but that is like a blue and green jacquard. So an hour later, I'm rustling through another bin and here's the top half. Same fabric, same size. The brand on this is Carol Craig, which I haven't really done any, I don't even care. I don't even care because look at it. This is tiny. This is probably like a size 2 to 4, just below elbow length sleeves. This is in perfect condition. But here's the crazy thing. So I'm seeing this and I'm nerding out about it. And I'm just remembering that 15, 20 years ago, I was down in Texas for my cousin's wedding and I went to a Buffalo Exchange and I found a dress in this fabric for me. Let me go get it. Does this still fit me? Not a chance. Is there a tear on the back seam? Absolutely. Will I ever get rid of it? Absolutely not. You do not find a vintage dress like this that fit you like it was made for you and get rid of it. But like, look at this. Isn't this stunning? This is obviously not for sale. I'm just showing this off because I know you guys also love vintage pieces, but this is like the same fabric. It's a little bit softer. Mine's a little bit softer than this, but like, what are the odds of finding another gorgeous Kelly green and blue jacquard vintage piece in the bins? I wore that gorgeous piece for New Year's Eve in Washington, D.C. one year, and it was, we'll just say it was a night to remember. But I'll probably get for this complete set, I might get somewhere around $100 for this. It is in beautiful condition. It'll take me a minute to sell, but I don't even care. Like, just color me excited when I find stuff like this. And like the full set in the bins, $1 a piece. Next up, this is a little Neiman Marcus cashmere turtleneck. I'm telling you guys, this day was ridiculous. And you know, like I need to say, like I'm well aware of the fact that my bins are rich with really good finds. There are also not great days there. So it's not every day, it's just every once in a blue moon, the sun shines on your girl here and just delivers find after find. So this is Neiman Marcus vintage cashmere ribbed turtleneck, size large. It's in perfect condition. I mean, I held this thing up to the window like 5 times just to make sure that there were no moth holes, and as far as I can see, there's none. Perfect condition. This kind of like gray green color, I feel like this is very like on trend right now. I'm gonna guess this is probably 90s, like maybe early 90s. Again, perfect condition. I'll probably see somewhere between like 35 and 45 on this, maybe a little bit more, because it's a size large and it's cashmere. Speaking of cashmere, we have another cashmere piece. This is Wendy B cashmere. I'm not super familiar with this brand, but it is cashmere in great shape. It's cream. This looks to be about a size large, just a V-neck cream cashmere sweater. Again, no moth holes, no damage, a little bit of pillage under the arm, but that's easy to take care of. And I like the way that that V-neck kind of crosses there. Insane. Again, 35 to 40 bucks on this. All right. Next up, we've got a vintage Jessica McClintock velvet midi skirt. The vintage situation was insane. This is in perfect condition. It's like a little pencil skirt, midi length, little split in the back. The size tag is taken out, but I'm gonna guess this is probably about a size 6. But again, perfect condition. Fully lined, beautiful plush velvet, no nicks, no like, you know how sometimes you'll get velvet and it'll have like a little spot that's like, you know, burned out or whatever. Nothing. It's in perfect condition. Again, probably worn once for like a wedding and never worn again. Next up, this is a little anthropology piece. This is from Love Sam. Love Sam pieces tend to sell really well for me. I think that this is silk. Most of the pieces that I have found are silk. This is the label you're looking for. It was one of those brands that sold for a little bit more expensive. This is very like coquette, very just like girl era. So it's got lace insets, it's got a little ruffle sleeve here, got just a hair of stretch to it. It's got beautiful like seaming detail there on the chest. It's also on the back. I'll probably see, I don't know, 30 to 40 on this. This is vintage. I believe this is probably like Y2K, but because of the style of it, there's a lot of things that I can keyword it to and tie it to like modern trends right now. I do like finding Love Sam. It's one of my favorite brands to find from Anthro, and I don't find it all that often. All right, we're down to 3 pieces here and 3 incredible pieces. This is a pair of Haute Hippie pants, size 4, 100% silk. Haute Hippie has slowed down for me a bit. It's still very, very expensive brand. I do see some of it in like TJ Maxx, but I don't typically see like the silk pieces there. This pair of like kind of tailored fit trousers in this kind of cool black and white print. These retailed, I want to say about $350 to $400. These are in like brand new condition. These, like, I would be surprised if these were ever worn. These really, like, if this had a tag on it, I would not be surprised. 100% silk, 100% silk lining. They drip luxury. Really, really pretty. Obviously like a kind of a polarizing style. These might take a little bit of time to sell. I'll still probably see somewhere between like 30 and 50 bucks on these. This silk is just so smooth. Which one do you want next? Like the luxury or the ultra luxury? I'll leave the ultra luxury for last. Not to call this a schlub or anything. This is Jonathan Simkai. If you are unfamiliar, a high-end luxury designer, beautiful little romper with this gorgeous like lattice work. The workmanship on this is so beautiful. Like this feels, did you see that there? This feels so sturdy. You know, sometimes you have this like ladder stitch detailing down the middle and it doesn't feel sturdy or anything like that. Like, let me get you in close on the details here. Look very closely at where all the little pieces come together. There's a tiny little tack stitch in there to keep it there. I mean, like the details and the quality of workmanship on this is unreal. It's a size medium, long sleeve. It's got that detail down the sleeve as well, all the way down to the cuff. 100% silk, 100% silk lining, and it's a little romper. It's a little and like look at the sides here. And then the back, I love this. The back is open. So you can kind of see it there. So the back is gonna have like a little peekaboo. This probably retailed somewhere between like $400 and $500. And on the resale market, I'll probably see somewhere between 50 and 100 on this. This is in like brand new condition. And oh, it's an elastic waist back. Oh, and it's got that little detail across the waistband too. So that'll go across the midsection. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this is a find. This is definitely a Bolo brand. Let me know if you've ever found a piece from this designer. I'm interested to hear like what you found, how fast it sold, what you got for it, but definitely a label to be on the lookout for. Pockets also, come on. And to like top it all, the one ring to rule them all, I feel this and I'm like, oh, that is gorgeous silk twill. Are you ready for this? This is Prada. Prada silk pants at the bins. Now, I think that these are either pajama bottoms or styled to look like pajama bottoms. They are this beautiful like geometric red, black, and white print. This is like a silk twill, absolutely gorgeous. It feels luxe. The construction is beautiful. It does have like a button fly here. Yeah, it's buttoned all the way down. They're a size extra large. So I'm super interested to hear, but like I went looking, because obviously this is a pretty like specific thing. I went looking and I couldn't find anything else like this. I have no doubt that these are real. Just everything about the construction on this feels like quality. Like there was no expense spared here. And I looked and like just a pair of Prada pajama bottoms, like retails for like $2,000 to $3,000. So I have no idea what I'll get for these. I need to do a little bit more research. I saw a lot of sold comps of kind of similar things selling for like $200 to $400. I'll obviously estimate on the low end. I think even in my little spreadsheet I put like 40 or 50 bucks, but I'm the kind of person that likes to like plan for the worst and hope for the best. That way everything is a delightful surprise when it sells above what I expect it to. But guys, what? Are you kidding me with this day? So unbelievable. And a size extra large too, like not a size extra small. But that is it, guys. That is the haul for today. And to quote one of my all-time favorite movies, these are the moments
that make life worth living.
Incredible vintage. Prada, Jonathan Simkai, silk, just like everything was silk or linen or high-end or incredible vintage. Like I couldn't believe it. It was a very lucky day. It was a very, very lucky day. Retail on all of this is somewhere between $10,000 and $11,000. I think I've got sales here somewhere between $1,300 and like $1,700. I'm not quite sure. Again, you know, I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. I always estimate on the extreme low end when I have anything like luxury. I still don't even know about that purse. I mean, that purse very well could be real and be worth $1,000 on its own. So I don't think it is, but dare to dream. Dare to dream. But guys, let me know what your favorite piece was, because there was all kinds of interesting stuff in here. I can't even tell you what my favorite piece is. There's like a lot of stuff to love here. But let me know what your favorite was. And guys, thank you so much for hanging with me while I go through these hauls. I always have just such a blast sharing these treasures with you. Like, I still can't believe some of the stuff that I find in here. I will never stop being absolutely delighted by finding this kind of stuff in the thrift store. And nothing makes me happier than pulling it out of the waste stream. Like, could you imagine if a pair of silk Prada pants goes to like a landfill? That would be like a crime against humanity. But guys, I know we are all crazy busy, and I so appreciate you choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me. It just warms me like to the absolute core of my soul. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, everybody, have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting. I hope you all have a day like this in the bins. And if you do, you better let me know. Like, let me know in the comments. But happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.